The first question: what has gone wrong? Why is it that people meet everything new rather reluctantly and with fear than with eager joy? The new does not arise out of you. It comes from the beyond. It is not part of you. Your whole past is at stake. The new is discontinuous with you, hence the fear. You have lived in one way. You have thought in one way. You have made a comfortable life out of your beliefs. Then something new knocks on the door. Now your whole past pattern is going to be disturbed. If you allow the new to enter, you will never be the same again. The new will transform you. It is risky. One never knows where you will end with the new. The old is known, familiar. You have lived with it for long. You are acquainted with it. The new is unfamiliar. It may be the friend, may be the enemy. Who knows? And there is no way to know. The only way to know is to allow it. Hence the apprehension, the fear. And you cannot remain rejecting it either, because the old has not given you yet what you seek. The old has been promising, but the promises have not been fulfilled. The old is familiar, but miserable. The new maybe is going to be uncomfortable, but there is a possibility it may bring bliss to you. So you cannot reject it either, and you cannot accept it. Hence you waver, you tremble. Great anguish arises in your being. It is natural. Nothing has gone wrong. This is how it has always been. This is how it will always be. Try to understand the appearance of the new. Everybody in the world wants to become new, because nobody is satisfied with the old. Nobody can ever be satisfied with the old, because whatsoever it is, you have known it. Once known, it has become repetitive. Once known, it has become boring, monotonous. You want to get rid of it. You want to explore. You want to adventure. You want to become new. And yet, when the new knocks on the door, you shrink back. You withdraw. You hide in the old. This is the dilemma. How do we become new? And everybody wants to become new. Courage is needed, and not ordinary courage. Extraordinary courage is needed. And the world is full of cowards. Hence people have stopped growing. How can you grow if you are a coward? With each new opportunity, you shrink back. You close your eyes. How can you grow? How can you be? You only pretend to be. And because you cannot grow, you have to find substitute growth. You cannot grow, but your bank balance can grow. That's a substitute. It needs no courage. It is perfectly adjusted with your cowardliness. Your bank balance goes on growing and you start thinking that you are growing. You become more respectable. Your name and fame goes on growing and you think you are growing. You are simply deceiving yourself. Your name is not you. Neither your fame is you. Your bank balance is not your being. But to think of the being and you start shaking. Because if you want to grow there, then you have to drop all cowardice. How do we become new? We do not become new of ourselves. Newness comes from the beyond. Say, from God. Newness comes from existence. Mind is always old. Mind is never new. It is accumulation of the past. Newness comes from the beyond. It is a gift from God. It is from the beyond and it is of the beyond. The unknown and the unknowable, the beyond, has ingress into you. It has ingress into you because you are never sealed and set apart. You are not an island. You may have forgotten the beyond, but the beyond has not forgotten you. The child may have forgotten the mother. The mother has not forgotten the child. The part may have started thinking, I am separate, but the whole knows that you are not separate. The whole has ingress in you. It is still in contact with you. That's why the new goes on coming, although you don't welcome it. It comes every morning. It comes every evening. It comes in 1,001 ways. If you have eyes to see, you will see it continuously coming to you. God goes on showering on you. But you are enclosed in your past. You are almost in a kind of grave. You have become insensitive. Because of your cowardliness, you have lost your sensitivity. To be sensitive means the new will be felt, and the thrill of the new, and the passion for the new, and the adventure will arise, and you will start moving into the unknown, not knowing where you are going. Mind thinks it is mad. Mind thinks it is not rational to leave the old. But God is always the new. That's why we cannot use for God past tense or future tense. We cannot say God was. We cannot say God will be. We can only use the present. God is. It is always fresh, virgin. And it has ingress in you. Remember, anything new coming in your life is a message from God. If you accept it, you are religious. If you reject it, you are irreligious. Man needs just to relax a little more to accept the new, to open up a little more, to let the new in. Give way to God unto you. That is the whole meaning of prayer, our meditation. You open up. You say yes. You say come in. You say I have been waiting and waiting, and I am thankful that you have come. Always receive the new with great joy. Even if sometimes the new leads you into inconvenience, still it is worth. Even sometimes the new leads you into some ditch, still it is worth. Because only through errors one learns, and only through difficulties one grows. The new will bring difficulties. That's why you choose the old. It does not bring any difficulties. It is a consolation. It is a shelter. And only the new, accepted deeply and totally, can transform you. You cannot bring the new in your life. The new comes. You can either accept it or reject it. If you reject it, you remain a stone, closed and dead. If you receive it, you become a flower. You start opening. And in that opening is celebration. Only the entry of the new can transform you. There is no other way of transformation. But remember, it has nothing to do with you and your efforts. But to do nothing is not to cease to act. It is to act without will or direction or impulse from your past. The search for the new cannot be an ordinary search, because it is for the new. How can you search for it? You don't know it. You have never met it. The search for the new is going to be just an open exploration. One knows not. One has to start in a state of not knowing, and one has to move innocently like a child, thrilled with the possibilities, and infinite are the possibilities. You cannot do anything to create the new, because whatsoever you do will be of the old, will be from the past. But that does not mean that you have to cease to act. It is to act without will or direction or impulse from your past. Act without any will or direction or impulse from the past. And that is to act meditatively. Act spontaneously. Let the moment be decisive. You don't impose your decision, because the decision will be from the past and it will destroy the new. You just act in the moment like a child. Utterly abandon yourself to the moment, and you will find every day new openings, new light, new insight. And those new insights will go on changing you. One day suddenly you will see you are each moment new. The old no more lingers. The old no more hangs around you like a cloud. You are like a dewdrop, fresh and young. Remember, a Buddha lives moment to moment. It is like a wave rises in the ocean, a majestic wave. With great joy and dance it comes up, with hope and dreams to touch the stars. Then the play for the moment and then the wave disappears. It will come again. It will have another day. It will again dance and again it will be gone. So is God. Comes, disappears. Comes again, disappears. So is a Buddha consciousness. Each moment it comes, acts, responds, and is gone. Again it comes and is gone. It is atomic. Between two moments there is a gap. In that gap, Buddha disappears. I say a word to you, then I disappear. Then I say another word and I am there, and I disappear again. I respond to you, and then I am no more. Then the response is again there and I am no more. Those intervals, those emptinesses, keep one utterly fresh, because only death can keep you absolutely alive. You die once, after 70 years, naturally you accumulate 70 years garbage. A Buddha dies every moment. No garbage is accumulated. Nothing is accumulated. Nothing is ever possessed. That's why Buddha said the other day that to possess marks is to be a fraud, because possession is of the past. Not to possess marks is to be a Buddha. Just think of it. Each moment arising, just like breath. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in again, you breathe out again. Each breath coming in is life, and each breath going out is death. You are born with each incoming breath. You die with each outgoing breath. Let each moment be a birth and a death. Then you will be new. But this new has nothing to do with your past, your will, your direction, your impulse. It is to act spontaneously. It is not reaction but response. All that is done out of the past is old, so that one can of oneself do nothing newly. To see this is to be done with the old and with the past and with yourself. That is all we can do. But it is everything. It is all. Upon the ending of the old, the new may follow. It may not. It does not matter. The very wish for the new is an old wish. Then one is utterly open. Even to ask for the new is an old wish. A Buddha is not even asking for the new. There is no desire for anything that it should be like this. If there is desire, you will manage it like that. You will impose yourself upon it. See life desirelessly. See life without any conditions. See life as it is, yatha bhutam. And you will be continuously renewed, rejuvenated. That is the real meaning of resurrection. If you understand this, you will be free from memory, psychological memory, that is. Memory is a dead thing. Memory is not truth and cannot be ever, because truth is always alive. Truth is life. Memory is persistence of that which is no more. It is living in a ghost world, but it contains us. It is our prison. In fact, it is us. Memory creates the knot, the complex called I, the ego. And naturally, this false entity I is continuously afraid of death. That's why you are afraid of the new. This I is afraid, not really you. The being has no fear, but the ego has fear, because the ego is very, very afraid of dying. It is artificial. It is arbitrary. It is put together. It can fall apart any moment. And when the new enters, there is fear. The ego is afraid. It may fall apart. Somehow it has been managing to keep itself together, to keep itself one piece, and now something new comes. It will be a shattering thing. That's why you don't accept the new with joy. The ego cannot accept its own death with joy. How it can accept its own death with joy? Unless you have understood that you are not the ego, you will not be able to receive the new. Once you have seen the ego is your past memory and nothing else, that you are not your memory, that memory is just like a biocomputer, that it is a machine, a mechanism, utilitarian, but you are beyond it. You are consciousness, not memory. Memory is a content in consciousness. You are consciousness itself. For example, you see somebody walking on the road. You remember the face, but you can't remember the name. If you are the memory, you should remember the name too. But you say that I recognize the face, but I don't remember the name. Then you start looking in your memory. You go inside your memory. You look this side, that side. And suddenly the name bubbles up and you say, yes, this is his name. Memory is your record. You are the one who is looking into the record. You are not the memory itself. And it happens many times. If you become too much tense about remembering something, it becomes difficult to remember it. Because the very tension, the very strain upon your being does not allow the memory to release its information to you. You try and try to remember somebody's name and it doesn't come. And although you say it is just on the tongue, you know that you know. But still the name is not coming. Now this is strange. If you are memory, then who is preventing you and how it is not coming? And who is this who says, I know, but still it is not coming? And then you try hard, and the harder you try, the more it becomes difficult. Then fed up with the whole thing, you go into the garden for a walk, and suddenly looking at the rose bush, it is there. It has surfaced. Your memory is not you. You are consciousness, memory is content. But memory is the whole life energy of the ego. Memory is of course old, and it is afraid of the new. The new may be disturbing. The new may be such that it may not be digestible. The new may bring some trouble. You will have to sift and re-sift yourself. You will have to readjust yourself. That seems arduous. To be new, one needs to become disidentified with the ego. Once you are disidentified with the ego, you don't care whether it dies or lives. In fact, you know that whether it lives or dies, it is already dead. It is a mechanism. Use it, but don't be used by it. The ego is continuously afraid of death because it is arbitrary. Hence the fear. It does not arise out of being. It cannot arise out of being, because being is life. How can life be afraid of death? Life knows nothing of death. It arises out of the arbitrary, the artificial, the somehow put together, the false, the pseudo. And yet, it is just such letting go, just that death that makes a man alive. To die in the ego is to be born into being, into God. The new is a messenger from God. The new is a message from God. It is a gospel. Listen to the new. Go with the new. I know you are afraid. In spite of your fear, go with the new. And your life will become richer and richer. And you will be able one day to release the imprisoned splendor.